pedestrians and an App State student has been charged. We'll have the latest updates on the story.
An exclusive sneak peek at a local community recreation center looking to open within the next few months.
And the Mountaineer football team preparing to play their first home game with 0 fans.
All of this and more on this week's episode of the Appalachian Weekly News. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Friday, September 11th. From the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Grace Smith.
And I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez. An App State student was charged last Friday with a DWI after hitting and killing an elderly couple at the intersection of East King Street and Forest Hills Drive.
21-year-old Madison Mahagan's blood alcohol level measured as 0.14 when she hit 2 people. The victims were identified as Tracy and James Lindamore from Frostburg, Maryland. The Boone Police Department is still investigating the incident.
Our deepest condolences to the family and friends of the Lindamores. Now for an update on the COVID-19 pandemic in the High Country. As of September 10th, there are 49 active COVID-19 cases in students. At this time, there are no active cases in employees or subcontractors. There have now been 311 overall cases, with 245 in students, 25 in employees, and 41 in subcontractors. 3 Watauga County residents died of COVID-19 this week, according to App Healthcare. The 3 individuals were residents of the Glenbridge Health and Rehabilitation Center and were in their 70s and 80s. They also had underlying medical conditions. App Healthcare is continuing to encourage people in the community to take preventative measures, like the 3 W's, to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
App State's numbers are lower than most of the other UNC school systems' COVID-19 cases. But how is the school keeping the pandemic under wraps? Our correspondent Aiyana Willoughby has the story.
Mountaineers knew campus life would be different when they resumed classes for the fall 2020 semester. Students are expected to regularly cleanse their hands and stand 6 feet apart from others.
On August 17th, App State resumed classes and welcomed students back to campus. To protect Mountaineers, the university encouraged students to complete daily health checks and to comply with CDC regulations. Several meeting spaces across campus have been transformed into classrooms or study rooms to accommodate students and faculty. Students who have tested positive are isolated for 10 days and must pass several health tests to be released from isolation.
So I know there have been multiple clusters identified within the football team and the wrestling team. And so after a cluster is identified, it's encouraged for them to go into isolation. But students are wondering where the 6 students are being placed in isolation.
Absolutely. So for residential students on campus who live in a residence hall, the university is contracted with 2 hotels off-site and will place anybody that needs to go into isolation or quarantine into those hotel spaces.
Students can find updated information about COVID-19 cases on apphealthcare.com. The site is updated daily with positive COVID-19 cases for Watauga, Ashe, and Allegheny counties.
If we start seeing a trend develop somewhere, that's going to get our attention quickly, right? And we're going to try and dedicate resources and people and information so forth to that.
According to Jason Marshburn, the Director of Environmental Health, Safety, and Emergency Management, the university continues to work with all students who are concerned about COVID-19, giving them access to additional resources to ensure their safety. Marshburn also said every Saturday in September from 12 to 5 in River Street Parking Deck, there will be pop-up testing. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Aiyana Willoughby.
App State's University Recreation opened its indoors exercise facilities September 8th after being closed since March amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Roy Cooper's Phase 2.5 allows gyms to reopen at a 30% capacity. UREC will reopen at 25%. People must wear masks, stay 12 feet apart, and show their daily health check passports. Before your next workout, download UREC's smartphone app to see real-time availability inside the gym. Maddie Frank is an employee of the UREC Center. Frank says that people are excited that the gym is available once again.
Patients have been pretty consistent, and a lot of people are just excited to have like weights to use and stuff, so it's pretty good.
Good news for all of those who enjoy working out at App State. A new community recreation center is opening soon. Our correspondent Katie Garceran has the story.
One day at the pool and a quick workout have been delayed because of COVID-19. But the Watauga Community Recreational Center plans to be the new hub for everyone in the Boone community once it opens. The Appalachian Weekly News toured the 93,000 square foot building. Inside is 2 swimming pools, 4 basketball courts, and a full track filled with new equipment and much more. Stephen Paulus is the director of Watauga County Parks and Rec, and he guided our tour. He says the center is something the community's needed for a while now.
I would love as a recreation director to see more than 12% locally exercise on a regular basis and do that type of thing. So if anything we can do to augment the community, again, this facility is built for the locals. However, we do understand economic development and the facility, and to have a swim meet, to have a tournament here, to have a pickleball tournament, have a volleyball event, to do events where we can bring people in on those weekends or something, and then they stay in the hotels and they put money to people that come up here in the sales tax.
Because of the pandemic, the center is going to take precautions to make the community's safety top priority when they open.
And we'll probably have some scheduled times to do some cleaning between, because it's hard. When people are in here, it's hard to clean. So like we may have times like, okay, the fitness center is operational, this many people from here to here, and it'll be a slot here where we'll say, okay, we're going to do some cleaning. Everything now by washing the hands, making sure your temperature's right, all that's kind of what I call standard now. But the biggest thing will be coming in, you just can't walk in off the street and just come and walk out and say, hey, I'm here to work out. Well, you need to do a reservation.
The center is still hiring, so if you're looking for a job, you might want to check it out. Polis says the entire staff worked so hard on this project, and they can't wait for the entire community to enjoy it.
But we went the old facility to this is such a huge upgrade. So I think people are really excited, and people, I think most people I've talked to really understand COVID and the ramifications of what's going on and everything. So people have been very, very kind and myself included. I can't wait to get this thing open. My staff, we can't wait to get this place open.
The Watauga Community Recreation Center has not set an opening date yet, but we can expect them to be open within the next few months. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Katie Garceran.
Watauga County Schools will continue to provide meals despite the school system closing and transition to online instruction. Low-income families who often depend on free or reduced lunches will benefit the most. In Watauga County, 28.3% of the population lives below the poverty line. That number is higher than the national average of 13.1. All North Carolina school districts are participating in this program, but each district will have its own plan inspired by protocol used during the summer. On weekdays, schools will serve lunch and a packed breakfast from noon to 1 p.m. in a drive-through line meal distribution site. The USDA is funding the program through December 31st.
I don't know about you, Xanayra, but I've been enjoying the warm weather recently. Why don't we check in with our weather correspondent, Aiyana Willoughby, to see if it's sticking around?
Aiyana, what weather can we expect to see for the rest of the day?
I know it's sunny outside, but those rain jackets and umbrellas are going to come in handy, Mountaineers. Today's forecast calls for a high of 75 degrees and a low of 62 with scattered thunderstorms. I know we've had rain most of the week, and this weekend will not be any different. Saturday's forecast calls for scattered showers with a high of 71 and a low of 64 degrees. You can expect 6-mile-per-hour winds and 89% humidity. Sunday will be another cloudy, rainy day with a high of 75 degrees and a low of 63. Sunday will be a bit more bearable with 86% humidity and 3-mile-per-hour winds. Monday, there's a slight chance of showers with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 58. This will definitely be a great weekend to do indoor activities. And that's all for the weather this week. Xanayra, Grace, I hope your plans don't involve the outdoors.
Thanks for that update, Aiyana. My family's coming this weekend, and the weather looks great for a drive on the Parkway.
I'll probably just stay inside and catch up on some homework. Xanayra, I think it is so awesome that App State students are so driven.
That's right, Grace. A lot of alumni have gone into music and sports fields, but now we have the Michael Jordan of politics in our student body. At least, that's what her friends call her.
Junior political science major Emily Hogan wants to spend her career trying to get Democrats elected. She wants to promote candidates' platforms and ideals. Her dream job is to be the executive director for a state's party. Hogan is working as a digital organizing manager for the South Carolina Democratic Party. She was offered the job at the beginning of August and just could not turn it down. This semester, Hogan is only enrolled in one class and is focusing on the advancement of her career. She is currently based in Columbia, South Carolina. Hogan coordinates volunteers, oversees the digital organizing process for the Board of Democratic Ballots, and manages social media accounts. Her friend Dalton George compared her to the basketball legend Michael Jordan. Quote, "She kind of has that Jordan-esque drive," George said. "She has the determination to just absolutely give it her all," unquote.
The Student Government Association Senate elections just finished, bringing new faces to the leadership. Our correspondent Richard Barker spoke to some of the newly elected senators.
The Association recently elected its newest senators. To say that these new members are facing a whole new world of challenges would be an understatement. But from those I've spoken to, they seem eager and ready to face the obstacles ahead.
Both the number of declarations and the voting turnout were at least records in recent history. We don't have like all the records of every SGA going back since the start, but this is the first year that any of us can remember and that the advisors can remember that we're starting out with a full Senate.
Once they're elected, senators have a variety of different responsibilities and jobs for the campus and the student body at large. Newly elected Senator Trey Blackwood describes the responsibilities of the position.
So really, as a senator, we're here to express the students' voices and represent our class, our constituencies, which is pretty general. And basically what we do is we work on bills together. We collaborate with different groups and organizations, different people on campus, people in administration, and we kind of create ideas and kind of get the ball rolling on different ideas that people bring to us.
Students run for a variety of reasons. Cameron Helms describes why she wanted to get into the position.
Honestly, it is my dream job to become an actual senator one day, and I thought this was obviously a great first step into like my dream career. I would also, after I graduate from App, I really want to go to law school. So, of course, I was like, I want to do things that would look great for my law school resume, but also contribute to App in a way that would be able to help people and actually make a big difference here.
Student government has an important role to play as a mediator between the student body and the university itself. This relationship is expressed by Riley Cullen, a newly elected senator.
By being a senator and kind of having a weigh in, I guess, I want to hear the complaints of people and the grievances or issues that they may have and take that and turn it into something that can be used to change what's happening right now, and then also put some protections in place for students in the future and have some policy that's already in place.
Students looking for more information can visit the Student Government Association website or visit their office at the Plemmon Student Union. For Appalachian Weekly News, this is Richard Barker, signing off.
The town of Boone is no stranger to residents who have become famous musicians. Our correspondent Abigail Watkins has the story on a local band who is starting to gain traction on Spotify.
Is no stranger to having students become huge music superstars. From Rainbow Kitten Surprise to Luke Combs, there's no limit to the talent that App State students have. Indie pop rock band Galloway is hoping to follow in the footsteps of the legends that came before them.
The band Galloway originated in the fall of 2018. The band consists of Lawson, Kevin, Robert, Nick, and Luca, and they aim to write music that will connect to people on an emotional level.
Well, it's normally a collaborative process. Lawson, our vocalist, sometimes will come up with a melody idea or something like that, pass it along in a group chat, and then from there it's just really free reign. You know, sometimes myself or Robert will write a guitar part for it. Sometimes Nick, our bass player, will come up with bass melody or something along those lines. So it's normally pretty collaborative.
While they all started out as App State students, the band has grown close to one another through their music. They hope to continue releasing music and have even thought about moving to Nashville to further their opportunities as a band. As their fan base grows, their Spotify numbers are soaring into the thousands. Their most popular song, Boys Like You, currently sits with over 13,000 plays. And don't worry, they have more music on the way.
October 9th, Buzz Cut. Definitely check it out. It's going to be great. It'll be on all the major streaming platforms. And we're going to probably do some giveaways related to its release as well. So stay tuned on our social media platforms for that stuff, and definitely check it out when it comes out.
Make sure to go stream their music on Spotify and follow them on Instagram at Galloway Band for more information on live shows and upcoming music. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Abigail Watkins.
Now let's check in with Jayson James for an update on App State athletics.
Jason, tomorrow is the first game of the 2020 football season. What can we expect for our Mountaineers?
Oh man, I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks in this game and in the season as a whole. Well, folks, the time is finally here. Our first football game of the year right here in Boone at Kid Brewer Stadium at 12 noon against Charlotte. While it may not feel the same because no fans are allowed, it is still an exciting time for not only the players but also the fans. With a new head coach and a revamped defense, it is going to be interesting to see how well the Mountaineers perform. So far, they are 2-0 against Charlotte, winning both in Charlotte and in Boone. I personally believe the Mountaineers will pull out the victory, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Should be a great game to kick off what we all hope will be a successful year. Some men's basketball players at App State have decided to begin their next chapter of life and sign to play basketball overseas. 6'9" forward Isaac Johnson has signed a contract to play in Portugal with the Overrance basketball. O'Shawn Williams also began the next chapter of his basketball career by signing to play in England with the Reading Rockets. We wish both of these great men and great basketball players the best of luck as they start their new journey playing basketball overseas. Athletic Director Doug Gillen released a statement last week regarding fan attendance at all fall sports through the month of September. Our correspondent Connor Davidson has a story on fan attendance through the next few weeks here in the High Country.
App State football kicks off its season on Saturday, but the stands in Kid Brewer Stadium will look similar to how they look today, empty and without fans.
On September 1st, Athletic Director Doug Gillen announced that no fans will be allowed at home athletic events due to the coronavirus pandemic. In the past, the crowd atmosphere has played a big role in the success of the football team at home games.
It's been a great advantage for us here in Boone, is our crowd and our fans. They're very passionate about App State football. Unfortunately, that's out of our hands right now. And the last two scrimmages we've had, it's been beautiful here in Boone. The sun's been shining, and there's no fans in the stands. So we called them up last week after our last scrimmage and said, hey, this is game day. This is what it's going to be like.
For students at App State, going to football games is a staple for Saturday afternoons. However, they will be missing out on the game day experience this year.
I understand why not, but it kind of sucks because you want to witness the game in person, the feeling of snacks, the energy, the crowd, seeing the game and all that. It's going to suck not being able to see it in person.
While players, coaches, and students alike will all miss having fans in Kid Brewer Stadium, it doesn't quite compare to parents who will not get to see their kids play football in person.
It's definitely going to hurt the parents more than it's going to hurt us. I'll tell you that. One thing, and as a general statement, one thing I want is I want fans in the stands. I want Kid Brewer packed out. I want to see App Faithful in there. They're the best fans in the Sun Belt, best fans in the country, in my opinion. And I really think it gives us an advantage to be at home in front of our home crowd. And we're going to miss that.
Decisions on whether or not fans will be allowed to return to games after September have not yet been reached. So there's still hope that we will see fans in Kid Brewer Stadium this year. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Connor Davidson.
Due to the burden COVID-19 has brought to many schools and families, App State Athletics has launched the Keep Climbing initiative to raise at least $1 million from now until June 30th of 2021. The initiative was started to help and support student athletes during these difficult times. Our correspondent Allie Powell has more on the story.
Around this time, fans are getting excited about the upcoming sports seasons, but due to COVID-19 complications, the future for App State athletics is uncertain. Due to COVID-19, the athletic department had to make many cuts to App State teams entering the 2020 to 2021 season. These included men's soccer, men's tennis, and men's indoor track and field. All sporting activities came to a stop on March 11, 2020. In late August, App State Athletics announced the establishment of the Keep Climbing initiative. Doug Gillen is the App State Athletic Director. Gillen says the program will have a big impact on the university's future.
We reduce schedules, so that impacts the number of competition dates that our student athletes have. There's been some positions that we haven't filled. We're in a hiring freeze, so we've got over, right now I think the number is about 10 positions that we haven't backfilled. What we're trying to do is make sure, whether it's athletic training, certainly from an academic standpoint, from a nutrition standpoint, we're trying, and that's what Keep Climbing is really so important, to maintain the level that we've had from a student-athlete support in all of those ancillary areas.
The goal is to reach $1 million by June 30th, 2021 to support sporting events and student-athletes at Appalachian State. There are different areas to give based on donation size, such as student-athlete health and well-being, sport-specific giving, Yosef Club gifts, capital gifts, and endowments. Sophomore and cross-country athlete Lila Peters discusses her feelings about the future for her team.
I worry a little bit about my team, but not as much as I worry about the other teams. My team is pretty big, so there's not a lot of people on scholarship because it'd be really hard to pay for all those people. So we don't really have to worry as much about losing a scholarship.
The athletic department is encouraging all Mountaineers to give to the Keep Climbing initiative to help support the incredible sports program App State has built. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Allie Powell.
That's all for sports this week. Another exciting week of sports here in the High Country. Xanayra and Grace, super excited for the football game on Saturday. Can't wait to see how it turns out.
Thank you, Jason. I'm pretty bummed that we're not going to be able to be in the stadium tomorrow, but you know I'm going to be cheering for the Mountaineers.
And now it's time for your High Country High Note.
You know what's something I miss right now? Bookstores. And Foggy Pine is one of them.
Foggy Pine stores may physically be closed, but the store is still open for business. Customers can call the store and receive books through free media mail shipping, free local delivery, curbside pickup, or drive-through pickup. They're also hosting weekly Saturday sidewalk sales from 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Additionally, Foggy Pine is still finding ways to both help and connect the Boone community. Free Books for Boone is a program where a customer can fill out an online request form and pick up one book for free.
I believe that everyone deserves to have a book of their own that they don't have to give back to the library, that they can write in if they want, they can dog ear, they can read over and over and over. Everyone deserves that. And often, especially, things are very difficult right now for a great many people. That's not easy because, that's not a priority for many people.
The bookstore is also collaborating with Black & Boone, a local advocacy group.
They choose a book by a Black author every month, and then we sell that book, and all the proceeds from the sales of that book for that month will be donated to Black & Boone.
Despite not being able to meet in person, the Fantasy and Sci-Fi Book Club is still getting together.
We just discuss a science fiction or fantasy novel. We choose all those novels together. This month we're reading Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and we offer 15% off when you purchase that book from us. This is a totally free event. Even if you didn't finish the book and you just want to come talk to book people, you can totally do that. And we're doing it virtually, so we meet online.
People can show support for Foggy Pine through their website's virtual gift jar or GoFundMe.
It's just really uncertain what the future is going to be. So survival is my main goal right now, and getting to a point where we can open our doors again, which has a lot less to do with me and just waiting, but still.
I'm definitely excited to revisit once y'all open up again.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to have the cats back. I can't wait with authors. I can't wait to talk to people in person. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hug people. I didn't realize I was a hugger. I'm sorry. I was late to the party. I want to hug people now.
With the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Kat Fast.
That's our report this week. I'm Grace Smith.
And I'm Xanayra Marin-Lopez. For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
Stay safe and stay well. We'll see you next time.